pretty exciting.
Indeed.
Oh, and it looks like they're off.
They're off. What we got going on here is first section here is City Escapes board section. Pretty straightforward. You want to explain that one for it?
Yeah, pretty much what they're going to be doing for the boarding section is just trying to get awesome tricks off of the ramp, get as far down the hill as possible, and maintain as much speed without hitting the walls or cars, as both of those things will kill like any speed you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
SA2B. Yeah. Actually, fun fact, that extra life may come in handy later.
Yeah.
We don't intend to die except for in one stage, and having some extra lives there can really help you out.
Yeah, I can attest to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first off, we got CE skip, a very, very difficult trick. It looks like Dai's going for it. He missed the ramp. Zzetti also went for it, both with a bit of a different method. They also, neither of them happened to get it, unfortunately. Although that does make the race a bit more, close from the start. It's a skip that basically you just fly off that ramp and fly out of bounds with boost pad. And it ends up saving about 30 seconds over playing the stage normally, so it could put any runner at a huge lead just from the start.
Yeah. Only thing about it is that it's effectively random due to the fact that it's determined by a bunch of very minute speed values and positional value. It's a lot of stuff. All you need to know is that it's a very, very inconsistent thing to get, and you won't be seeing it too many times throughout the tournament. But when you do, it's going to be hype.
Yeah.
And so it looks like both of them are relatively close to one another. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
It looks like... yeah, that's not
if
good.
If I can get CE skip here... No.
No.
Oh, no, that's really unfortunate. That's gonna
over a minute of time lost there.
Yeah. Usually in the community races that we do from time to time, we love races in the community, and we usually do an honor reset here. This is a tournament, so that's a no-go.
Yeah. Dying in City Escape is it's the mercy rule of SA2B racing, where if you die in City Escape, then you would typically just restart the race. But here, that's not really a viable option, so Dai's just gonna have to take the time loss and run with it from there. Hopefully, he'll be able to bring it back later, maybe with some good RNG, maybe with a few lucky execution precision. I don't know. It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard, but I think it's still possible. There's a lot more dangerous stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Here we got Bigfoot though. First pass of the run.
Yeah, let's see if Zzetti going for front box. Okay, so he's going for the front box strat. Pretty much what you do for Bigfoot is you want to try and get onto these boxes that Sega so kindly placed in order to hit Bigfoot as soon as he comes out of his invulnerability. And looks like Zzetti actually missed the somersault jump onto the box for the last hit. But thankfully, Bigfoot circles around and doesn't waste too much time.
Yeah.
It's about 5 seconds, I'd say, lost from missing that last hit, so it could be a lot worse. And Zetti's kind of sitting comfortably ahead right now, so I'd say he can stand to lose that 5 seconds.
Indeed. First off, this is our first Knuckles. Knuckles, very intimidating for learning the game. There's about 100 pieces in each stage, and you gotta memorize the first hints for each of them, so that you can effectively just go to each of them and, nab the piece. It's a lot of practice, but I personally find it very fun.
Yeah, once you get used to it, a lot of people quite enjoy it. Some people enjoy it more than the rest of the game, and they choose to run almost entirely Knuckles. So it's very much a give or take, whether or not you like Knuckles or not. Some people really enjoy it, others really don't.
Pretty decent RNG going on there.
Thing about it with that, on a railway, he actually could have done a spiral punch or even punched into the corner in order to grab that piece without moving the block, but I don't know if he quite knows about that strat, so it's fine.
Yeah. There, ooh, that was a smooth grab.
Very smooth grab from Dai there.
That made me feel good inside.
Yeah, another piece. similar to the first piece he got. So this is some pretty excellent RNG.
This is some pretty excellent execution we're seeing here from Dai.
Yeah.
Very smooth. And on Zetti's screen here, we got the first boss. Or first boss, yes. Bigfoot isn't real. Second boss of the run. Yeah. And he's dead.
He might as well not be a boss, because Eggman 1 is a bit of a joke. Just walk forward and pew pew shoot him.
Yeah, this is
and then dead.
And then dead.
Yeah. Yep. Coming up here, we got Prison Lane. Tails' first action stage. Very, very movement-based. You'll be seeing them hop around all the corners. The reason for this is that it helps maintain their speed. You take a sharp turn with Tails, he just comes to a dead stop. So to avoid that, we hop instead.
Yeah, definitely trying to move quickly through Prison Lane is no easy feat. I would argue that it's one of the toughest Tails stages to do fast, and it's also the first one, so you're going to encounter a very big roadblock at the start, especially with these gate hops that you see him doing where he didn't quite get it. If you can get onto the gate as it's coming down, you can jump onto a higher platform and then effectively skip waiting for the little elevators that you normally have to take. So it saves quite a bit of time.
So there seems to be about a 50 second difference here.
Yeah. So Dai has definitely made up the difference between the two, even after that death. So like Pioneer said, it's not impossible for the two in order to make a pretty big comeback.
Especially with Metal Harbor coming up after this.
Yeah, Metal Harbor can also lead to a bit of trouble due to the fact that it's entirely placed over a giant kill plane of water.
Well, we'll delve back a bit more into that when it comes to it, just why that's so dangerous. Yeah, so something we didn't explain before is that Tails' laser targeting can shoot through walls, and we use that in two spots in this level. One which Zetti just passed, where he jumped in the corridor to shoot an enemy, and one that Dai just passed, where he jumped on the elevator to shoot an enemy. Both of these save a little bit of time because you don't have to wait for a door to open. Quite nice.
That was easy.
Yeah, being able to target enemies through walls is pretty good for saving time here.
Yeah, rather solid Prison Lane on Zetti's side, and Dai just coming up on the end of it. And we heading into Metal Harbor now.
Yeah, one of the big parts of playing through Metal Harbor fast is trying to stay on top of these hills. There's a lot of hills in the slope metal platforms of Metal Harbor, so trying not to fly off them is a pretty big part of it, and saving time. And you have the straightaway section where you can actually take two different paths here. The left side is generally considered faster by most people because they're two speed pads, but the right side actually has a faster speed pad, which gives you a bit more speed and can save about a half a second if you do it optimally.
Pretty fast. But yeah, so why is this level so dangerous? It looks like they're having no trouble with it. Ask. Well, that's because every single one of these jumps that they're doing to go over an entire kill plane. If they mess up this jump, it's right next to a ledge too. It's instant death. So it really does kind of add up, especially when there are even more dangerous jumps that they don't seem to be opting for.
Yeah, but it
looks like Zetti is pretty smooth going through here. As well as Dai. Dai had has been having some very, very smooth play, aside from that one big hiccup at the beginning.
Yeah, he's been bringing it back. He didn't let it phase him, it seems. He's continued to push forward and has been playing very well to make up for the mistake at the start.
132, definitely not bad at all.
Yeah, nothing to sneeze at. Alright, looks like we're heading into the very infamous Faker cutscene where Zetti is going to be taking on Shadow 1 boss fight. Not sure exactly which method of play is going to be bringing about in order to take him on, but probably he's going to be going for storage hits. Pioneer, you want to explain how storage works in this game?
Sure. Basically, whenever you press the B button, There are a lot of actions that are bound to this button. Two of the main ones that are active at all times, for Sonic at least, are the somersault and spin dash. So when you first tap the B button, the game puts you in the somersault state. So basically, until you start charging a spin dash, you can walk into enemies and kill them. You can, just do that basically, and we can use that on Shadow. Another use for this is that if we interrupt mid-charge, as long as you maintain holding the button, as soon as you land again, you'll start counting down that timer. So you'll see that a little bit in Green Forest to save a little bit of time on certain spin dash charges here and there.
It's very, very useful move, and a bit of an oversight in the way the game is programmed that we put to great effect in this game.
Rather nice fight from both Dai and Zetti.
Yeah, Shadow didn't want to cooperate on the last hit, it seems.
Yeah. Green Forest is a very volatile stage. Very, very volatile. With a lot of awful things that can happen. But these are not necessarily deaths, and more just, there's 100 ways to lose 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy stage to play through fast. There's a lot of places where you can get vertex, fly off of hills, have something just randomly kill you. It's terrible if you're not being careful and don't know what you're doing. But luckily, these are both experienced runners and will probably take it on with much skill and much grace.
Yeah. We'll see if either of them is going to go for a trick. Looks like Zetti is not. There's a trick there known as Green Forest Wall Run, where basically you fly up next, you go right up next to the loop and then fly off towards the tree and just run right up. It looks really cool. But it's pretty scary, so I don't blame either of them if they don't go for it.
Yeah, it's the only thing about it is that if you do not play the trick properly, you will die.
Oh no, that's a huge time loss on Zetti's part.
No.
Zetti did not grab either of the last 2 check. That puts him behind Dai.
Oh my god. See, this is exactly what we were talking about, where one of them could make a mistake and the other could come back. This is exactly what we meant. So now this is really a race.
Indeed.
Oh no, looks like he got the bad ring storage. Typically what a lot of runners do at that section that Zetti was at is they mask the B button or action button in order to try and get a ring dash and hit the spring as quickly as possible. What can happen though is you can have the Sonic follow the ring trail upward, and it will send you back down instead of sending you towards the spring, which is incredibly painful.
It definitely always hurts to have that happen to you.
Yeah.
Because there's not really much you can do about it.
Yeah, it's very, very, very painful thing to see happen because you just helplessly fall and lose time. So yeah, Dai seems to pull ahead.
Oh no!
Another
death from Zetti there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
definitely a rough time there. Again, Green Forest is a very mean stage with a lot of ways to just kind of mess you up inside.
What I think happened is that the platforms fell, and though he tried to jump, the game kind of ate his input because it was continuously falling.
Yes.
Darn. Oh, what you saw Dai just do there was he basically canceled the upgrade cutscene by grabbing a hint. So the hint overrid the cutscene that was about to play. Ooh, very nice start RNG-wise for Dai here.
Yeah.
2 very good pieces to have back to back. Let's see about his third.
I'm gonna say Sad-Eyed Pumpkin. Let's see what it is.
Right?
I am a literal god.
So you gonna go for the pumpkin dig? No pumpkin dig.
No pumpkin dig here.
There's a little bit of a strat where you can dig into the corner of that pumpkin's eye, and it saves half a second. It looks really cool.
Yeah. He likes to talk about it because he's the one that made it. So yeah, looks like Dai got a solid 38 coming out of Pumpkin Hill, and definitely pulls ahead. This is definitely still a race that is in Dai's favor at the moment, but just as we saw between Zetti falling behind and Dai taking the lead, the same thing can happen with Zetti taking the lead and Dai falling behind. So this is still anyone's game.
Yep. A little bit of rough RNG here for Zetti. That's pretty unfortunate. Running all over the place. On Dai screen, we've got coming up here on Mission Street, just grabbing the hover upgrade. It's the only upgrade they're going to be grabbing for Tails. And it allows you to go really high because of an oversight in how it was programmed. The way that this upgrade works, it slows down your descent, but it slows down your transition descent. So by double tapping the A button, we can get a lot of height. We'll be abusing that a lot. Especially more in a later stage and as hidden base.
Yeah, hidden base will be making a lot of use of the hover upgrade, and it's easily one of the most useful things that Tails has. Really, it's the only useful thing for the speedrun.
Indeed. Yeah, so this is a cycle-based Tails stage. There are a few cycles that you can make. They're all pretty tight, actually. Looks like neither of them got the weight hop, or basically you'd hop on that weight that Zetti just got up on there a little bit early. It helps make some cycles a lot easier, as well as get a few of the ones you can't get otherwise. But they're all very movement oriented.
Ooh, looks like he wasn't quite able to get onto the next cylinder before it moved up.
Unfortunate.
This is the definite downside with cycle-based stage there. If you can't quite catch it, you're gonna have to wait for the next one to come around. So on the one side, where cycle-based stages can work in your favor, where if you fall behind a little bit, you can still catch the cycle and it doesn't really matter. There also comes a point where you can fall behind too much and then it matters a whole lot.
Indeed. Coming up is Aquatic Mine. I'd say definitely one of the most technical Knuckles stages. Like, with the sheer amount of just things you can do in this stage to try to make it go faster, I'd say it probably has the most use of that. Next to Death Chamber, though, it's a pretty close tie.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain the opening cutscene and why it's useful?
Yes. In the opening cutscene for Aquatic Mine, the camera spins around as Knuckles talks about how he didn't expect the inside of the mines to be like this. In this time, we can actually search for some free pieces that the game may give us. Basically, what free pieces are pieces where normally the game requires you to get the pieces in the order of 1, 2, and 3. And it only highlights your location for how close you are to the piece, depending on which one you're on. So you can only get 1, and it'll be highlight, 2, and then highlight, and so on and so forth. Free piece is pretty much a piece that you don't have a radar for, and you grab before the game intends you to. These are pieces that are normally out in the open or are inside of containers or enemies that we destroy with the assumption that we might get a piece from it. And it usually doesn't lose much time in order to go for it.
Yeah, a little bit of rough RNG on the start here for Dai here.
Yeah.
Definitely not 2 pieces you want to see.
Yeah, any piece that requires you to go back up to the top is less than stellar.
Indeed.
Third pieces can also do the same thing, so it's a bit of rough RNG can happen either way.
56 definitely is a bit rough, for sure.
Yeah, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Ooh, looks like Zetti grabbed a free piece, the same free piece I grabbed earlier as well, which comes from the enemy that I was talking about, where you just kind of destroy it because it doesn't lose any time, and if you end up getting lucky, then, well, you stand to save a lot.
Yeah. That was definitely some very good RNG on Zetti's side. As you see on Dai's screen, we've got Route 101. Is he going to do a thing? He hasn't done it yet.
He is. He told us he was going to do it, so
he better do it.
If he doesn't do it, I'm going to be very upset.
Okay, he's doing it.
Yeah, there we
This is
go.
backwards driving. When you hit a wall, Tails' model kind of turns a little bit, and if you hit enough walls, it just completely turns around. This doesn't change your controls at all. It just changes his model. It's pretty funny.
Yep.
Basically, for the speed tech they're going to be doing in this level, they're going to be trying to pick up very specific rings in a very specific way. And yeah. On top of that, we've got the drifting. You want to explain that?
Yeah, how drifting works is that the game normally has a set speed cap that it like makes you go by, but we can kind of, well, there's two speed caps. There's the speed cap for when you're normally driving, and then there's the speed cap for when you're boosting. The speed cap for boosting can be maintained so that you don't revert back to the normal driving speed cap by continuously drifting. So by skirting back and forth, and as they're doing right now, they're able to maintain the boost speed cap and get through the stage much more quickly than you were ever intended to.
If you want a little bit of a fun fact tidbit about driving stages and how this is really so much faster, in Route 280 Mission 5, if you do this efficiently, you'll get to about 30 seconds before the level finishes or so, and there won't be any more cars.
Yeah.
They just straight up did not expect you to move this fast.
Yeah, it's like they run out of cars to spawn, so you were just drive through the rest of the stage without having to worry about hitting cars.
Let's hope none of them despawn the stage.
Yeah.
Looks like Dai didn't despawn the stage. Another fun thing about these levels is that if you hit a car at this despawning at the very end, instead of just despawning the car, the game will despawn the entire level from underneath, and you will die, and you'll have to do it all over again.
Yep, losing about 2 minutes worth of time. It's not fun at all.
Yep. All right, we got Hidden Base, most technical stage coming right up for Dai. This one's pretty rough, but if you get it, it looks really impressive if you do it well.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll be going for a GC skip. Or maybe...
I don't think Dai does pole jump, does he?
Yeah, I've never seen him mention pole jump, so I doubt we're going to see that from either of them, but we might see GC skip from one of them. Let's see.
Yeah. By the way, just to mention, backwards driving, yes, it loses like, I don't know, half a second or so. But
Yeah.
it's swag, and it's all in good fun, so... Yeah, it looks like he's not going to go for GC skip. Just doing the normal hop over here, known as axle jump, where you jump over the fence.
Yep.
Popularized by a runner known as Axel Thunder, hence its name. People just kind of started calling it that.
Yeah. Shout outs to Axel Thunder.
Cool dude.
Cool dude. So a pretty big part of Hidden Base is preparing yourself for what is coming up ahead. So pretty much at all times you'll see both of these runners are trying to destroy the objects that lie in their path so that they can progress as quickly as possible. So destroying doors, destroying dynamite packs, all of this will serve to save a lot of time in the long run over the course of the stage.
A very important thing that's kind of hard to tell with this stage is staying on the ground as much as possible. There's a ton of flying through the sky in this stage, and, well, you don't fly as fast as you just do or move when you're running. So actually landing on the ground whenever you can is really, really important, and it builds up quite a bit throughout the course of the level.
Yeah, being grounded is definitely a key component of going fast, and not just with Tails, with Knuckles as well. Oftentimes there will be, yeah, Sonic as well. Well, I only mention these two because they are the only ones who have the ability to actually fly and glide around.
Fair enough.
But yeah, pretty much you want to stay grounded as much as possible because grounded movement speeds are much faster than air movement speeds.
Not quite a sub 1, it would seem, on Dai's side, but still
Sub 2.
pretty respectable time. Or sub 2, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, sub 1 hidden base. I'd like to see that.
Me too.
See some crazy skips discovered.
Just wall run through the entire stage.
I would actually love to see that, I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Alright, so heading into Pyramid Cave, we're gonna have the first hallway. Pretty much what the objective here is to, as we said earlier, stay on the ground, but also stay in ball form so as to maintain as much speed as possible.
All right, a sub 2, it's a 159.80. That's pretty good. Pretty darn good time on Zetti's side.
He's trying to make the comeback, and he very well much could, especially considering Death Chamber is coming up.
And Pyramid Cave is, well, the most technical Sonic stage, and there's a lot that can go wrong.
Looks like that's gonna have to wait for the hourglass to flip back over.
Yeah, Spring's bullying pretty hard.
Yeah, it doesn't always want to cooperate, unfortunately. Looks like he missed the railing here. Gonna have to
He's gonna go a certain backup. Yeah, that's a nice backup. What you do is you just kind of do a gravity bounce. So we should explain. Oh, don't die!
Jesus Christ!
My heart. We should explain gravity bounces and super bounces because we'll be seeing both these runners utilizing these quite a bit. You want to explain super bounces and I'll take care of the gravity bounce?
Yeah, sure. Pretty much how super bouncing works is if you are spin dashing towards the wall and then you proceed to jump and bounce right as you're about to hit the wall, it transfers your horizontal momentum into vertical momentum, allowing you to reach greater heights than the game ever intends you to.
Yeah, and that, what you just saw there was Snake Skip. He used a gravity bounce. Basically, when you go on a slope in the game, oh no, the death. That's gonna put him really neck and neck now.
Yeah.
When you go on a slope, the game changes the direction that the game thinks is downward, which means that if you fly off of this, and as long as you have speed, it'll continue to think that this is downward. So you can use that, like what you saw Dai do there, to fly through the sky. Jesus, this is neck and neck now.
Yeah, things have really evened up. So it's very much going to come down to Death Chamber. A lot of runs today have come down to Death Chamber. It's quite baffling the amount of time that can be lost through very minute mistakes or deaths. And then ultimately it comes back down to this one stage.
This boy is pretty bully.
Just made it.
Jeez, this is tight.
Yeah, this is a very, very close race now. Anyone can pull it out in the end.
Yep. Death Chamber is one of the more technical Knuckle stages. We're going to be seeing a lot of, maybe some death strats. We'll see what they get. Depending on where Zetti's piece is, whether it'll be in blue or green, for that hint will determine whether or not we'll probably be seeing some death strats today in the race.
Yeah, it looks like he will be going for the blue path piece.
Oh,
he grabbed a free piece merry-go-round.
Merry-go-round is... Oh, and it's in blue. This looks like it's going to be an incredible Death Chamber for Zetti.
Yep.
Do the death strats, I assume. Yep, and he can just,
just die.
Go right back to blue room. Oh, I guess red.
I guess he's gonna opt to go back since he already knows where it is. He's not gonna take the chance on it, which is a respectable move. Respectable move on this part.
Definitely playing it safe here. What do you think the time could have been? Like a 30? If he had gotten the death strats first try?
Yeah, definitely could have been a mid to low 30, depending on how long it took him to grab that first piece.
Wow.
Definitely a solid 54 deathless Death Chamber. Respectable.
Very, very good. There. Dai not doing too shabby himself. He had a nice first piece and seemed to find his way to his second one rather efficiently, and here he is in his third. Now we got Boom Boom. Pretty, not necessarily difficult once you get the hang of it, of course, but pretty scary boss. But not for the reason that the game may want it to be scary.
Yeah, it's because this boss is easily the boss that can lose you the most time if you mess it up. This is a huge run killer for a lot of beginning runners who do not know the one cycle strat, and if you miss a single hit, you run the risk of losing minutes of time on this boss.
Yep. What you're going to want to do is hold about a GameCube up left angle and just kind of punch when he becomes vulnerable. Sounds simple, but there's a lot of pressure that gets put on you with this fight, so...
Yeah. It's honestly, even to this day, one of the scariest boss fights to mess up.
I don't know if Zzetti does super bounces. Well, I guess we'll find out in a second. Looks like he does. Ooh, smooth.
Very good first super bounce. Another one.
Nice.
He kind of missed it, but he's gonna recover it. Very good on his part, bringing it back. Didn't quite get the third one, but considering that he got those first two, I think he's saved ample time from hitting those first two.
For sure. I do not believe Dai does the super bounces. No.
Which is
there's a pretty interesting strat here that gets you consistent sub ones. You want to explain a little bit more detail, just exactly what he's doing?
Oh, you mean Dai or?
Dai.
Yeah, okay, so pretty much what he's trying to do is just get around behind Egg Golem as much as possible. Whenever the backs come out, just try and bounce up towards them. It's very much possible in order to get a sub 1 on Egg Golem without super bounces. It just requires you to always make sure you're in the proper position whenever you finish your hit for Egg Golem, because he has an attack called Ballerina, well, by the community, often called Ballerina, where he will spin around and doesn't give you the opportunity to really attack him outside of landing a super bounce. And you have to wait until he comes out of that animation in order to attack him. So if you get that, you stand to lose a lot of time.
Right. You know, and the super bounces are so difficult, so it's really nice to have this strat to kind of even it out a little bit. Then we got Eternal Engine. Going to be seeing all the runners jumping in front of these doors here.
Yeah, reason for that being is that these doors don't quite open up at the speed that Tails runs into them. So to kind of slow him down just a little bit, we jump in before the doors in order to allow time for the doors to open without Tails bonking into the door, which ultimately would waste more time.
Indeed.
Ooh, that enemy is giving Zzetti a very hard time. He did destroy it though. This is the bane of many runners' existences.
He's a bully.
Yeah, he's a big bully. And it's like Zzetti's setting himself up for Eternal Engine clip out, and he got it first try. Very nice.
Very nice indeed. It can be a little bit tricky to get that clip out, but it saves a ton of time overdoing the level normally. What, about 40, 50 seconds?
Yeah, it's a clip out very well worth learning. You haven't already and plan to run this game.
Yep.
The best part is once you land outside of it, there's not really any kill planes to kind of body you. So once you're in there, yeah.
But yeah, you're usually pretty good. Let's see how safe Zzetti is being playing it here. Not going for the invisible platform, but gets it anyways.
He's playing it very safely. Respectable, though. You do not want to die at the end of Eternal Engine skip, because if you didn't grab the checkpoint right before the skip, you stand to lose quite a bit of time. And even if you did grab the checkpoint before it, you still have to fly through space again and then land, try and land the skip again. It's a lot of time loss either way. Alright, so next up we have Meteor Hurt. Pretty much this stage is very, very mean whenever it comes to RNG. You either get something extremely exceptional, very rarely. You get something mediocre most of the time. And also a lot of times you can just get something absolutely terrible depending on where the piece is positioned. Yeah, looks like Zzetti has a piece at the top for the start, which is not the best. Definitely not the best.
Right.
Many runners will often opt to reset for pieces at the top. It's because of how long it takes you to get there. Oh, too heavy to float. That is a piece I haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah, rather rare. See if he happens to know where it is.
Ah, yes, it is. No, wait, oh. He was on the right platform.
That's actually, right over... Where is this piece? I actually completely forgot.
It should be on the platform that he's searching for it right now, but the thing about it is it's on the side.
Oh.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Like, you would think that it would be a piece that's inside of one of those containers, but in reality, it's actually on the side. It's a very troll piece.
It really is.
Subverts
and
expectations.
It's so rare that you don't get used to that. Like, you play this stage a ton. I mean, I've played this stage a ton. Forrest played this stage a ton, and I've just completely forgotten where it was.
Yeah, it's not a piece you'll see too often. So Zzetti just opts to die in order to get another piece in exchange.
Ooh, same with the restart on Dai's side there. Getting inside a container, which is inside another container.
Yeah, this is an average third piece, especially if you have it from the ground. That's the really big part of it. Like I said, depending on where you get your pieces, your next piece is in comparison to where you currently are. That's where a lot of your time loss will come from in Meteor Herd.
Mm-hmm. Dai looking like he's getting a little bit turned around, going for twin stars, but hopefully he'll find it.
If he goes right to his right, there you go. There you go. You found it.
Knuckles is the ultimate like want for backseat gaming. Like as somebody, if you know the piece and somebody doesn't see, know where it is, like you just want to scream, "It's right there!" or whatever. It's pretty hard to hold it back sometimes, but yeah, definitely rough Meteor Herd on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very rough.
It looks like Zay's going for Rouge, and it looks like he's got the manipulation down. Pretty much, whenever you're in the...
Oh, okay.
Okay, there we go. He recovered it. When you're in the air, Rouge's AI is very complacent. So pretty much the strat for this boss is to jump in the air and then drill dive repeatedly to continue to hold her AI in a complacent state so you can repeatedly land hits on her and eventually kill her without much effort. And you want to do this before the floor opens up and you have to go on a mad goose chase to find her on one of the side platforms.
Yeah. Looks like, if anything, this race is probably going to be coming down to Crazy Gadget here. I think Zzetti does CGS, but I actually don't know.
I'm pretty sure he does.
I'm like 90%. But yeah, we'll probably be seeing that here. I don't think either of the runners do CGSS, but
and yes, he is going to be going for CGS.
Yeah, if he messes up CGS, especially depending on where during this trick. Oh, there's one.
One death.
Definitely serves to even the lead here.
Yeah, it's gonna even the playing field for Dai to make a comeback.
Yep. Basically, what this trick is you're spin dashing and jumping across a big kill plane, and then you're gonna wiggle your way through a convoluted series of rooms to just get to the goal. How did he not die there?
I have no idea.
What was that? Was like that had to be like few pixels.
Programming was on his side today. Indeed.
But yeah. The trick's not over yet. One of the hardest parts of the tricks is falling to the goal ring. And there is a setup for this, but most people don't really have it too down. Ooh, that looks rough.
Really high.
Oh,
wait, what?
That was...
How?
He pulled back in time.
That was something.
Something indeed.
Yeah, you
looks like Dad's having a little bit of trouble in the acid room. This room is really, really, really awful.
Yeah, this room is it's known for giving a lot of people issues if you don't know how to approach it. He even got the bounce up, but couldn't quite get the homing attack to work for him. That wasn't even really his fault there.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
There we go. And let me see Zzetti here on Eggman.
Yep.
Yeah, Zzetti might just be coming out of nowhere. By nowhere, I mean practice, and grabbing this victory, depending on Well, we've seen so many FR bullies tonight that it wouldn't surprise me to see another.
Yeah.
I think it's not quite over yet. And also Shadow, too. Because this is Hero Story. It's not over until it's over. As we can see here with a little bit of a mean Eggman fight.
Mm-hmm. Eggman is definitely not nice to both runners and like just first-time players alike. I remember I struggled quite a bit on this fight as a kid.
Mm-hmm. That laser does just under half your health. Chances are if you get hit with it twice, you're dead. Because he does like to hit you.
Yeah, he will.
Looks like Dai's going for the AI manip. And not quite getting it. Yeah, and then getting it, and also a little bit different. There's an invisible wall that you can get Eggman to rub up against. Oh, no!
Oh,
that is
very
unfortunate on Dai's side. I guess he gets another chance to show off the manip if you want to look on the bright side here.
All right, looks like he did turn around, but he didn't quite get him to stay there. Looks like he's just gonna opt to finish him off. Oh, can he escape the laser? Oh, he couldn't escape the that laser has a huge hitbox. That is another thing about it that just kind of makes it very volatile.
Yeah, and then we see Zetti here. He might be a little bit to the left from what I'm seeing, but he should probably be fine with FR skip. FR skip, you basically do a skewed gravity and wiggle around some kill planes and then just kind of fall to the end. It's actually a pretty interesting skip in that it even works at all. Yeah, definitely a bit to the left, but he should be fine. There's a kill plane over on the left that was really dangerous that he could have hit. But it looks like he'll probably be getting it here.
Yeah, no, he has enough height to easily make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, looks like unless Zetti absolutely spaghettis on Shadow 2, he has secured the victory for this leg of the tournament.
Yep. Definitely a little bit against expectations, but certainly not out of the question.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is a toss-up for who could win, and I honestly felt like it could go either way, and looks like Zetti is going to come out on top.
Yep. And then, Mommy, it is Shadow. We've seen what Shadow can do to some other players in the past. You know, you run this game and you see Shadow tear your face apart and make you lose a 5-minute PB, and then you cry to yourself that night. You're really sad, and then the next day you decide to practice him for 2 hours. But you know, it's a familiar feeling that I think a lot of runners have probably had. But yeah, it looks like a little bit of a struggle. But in the end, pulling it out here with Zetti with the win. Congratulations.
Yep, congratulations to BlazinZzetti on the victory, and of course Dai coming very close behind him. It looks like he's going to be... He's in the right position, and he looks like he has enough height, so long as he doesn't hit this last kill plane. He's a bit too far to the left right now. I think he might have already dodged it, so he's fine. Yeah, he's good.
More than enough height. Yeah, right behind him, Dai is coming on up to the end of the run.
Yep.
Very good runs on both runners' part. It's not quite over for Dai.
He still has one more hurdle to face, and then he'll be home free.
You know, I'd just like to mention that I'd really like to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 time on Final Rush at some point during the tournament. That would just make me feel really good inside. Can we get that to happen?
I feel like it can happen. On my next race, I'll try and just specifically finish on that specific time frame. I don't know if I'll succeed, but I'll be darned if I'm not going to try.
Thanks, man. It really helps me out.
No problem.
Looks like we got another fight with Shadow. I guess we didn't really explain it earlier, but basically what you're doing here is we're timing attacking me in rhythm. And really good. A 1629, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic Shadow fight. But you just kind of home attack his back, and as soon as he becomes vulnerable again, you just kind of keep on hitting him until he dies. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is pretty good. So congratulations to both BlazinZzetti and Dai for the awesome race.
Yeah, fantastic. Very, very close for a lot of it. We got to see a lot of what this game can do, you know, for both runners, allowing, you know, just how diverse it can be with what things happen to allow everybody to catch up and make it so intense throughout the run. So, I think that was definitely good on both people's parts, and congratulations to Zetti to the win, and thank you both for the great run.
Yeah.
I think that's the last race tonight, isn't it?
There might be one more. I am unsure, so I am not the perfect person to be asked that.
Let me check that schedule there in that their chat and see what we got. I think that should be the last one, though. Hold up. Let me double check. I don't want to be wrong live here. Yeah, that looks like that's it for today, but we'll be back tomorrow with some more races.
All right. Well, I'd say this was a very excellent first day of races. So congrats to all the runners out here, and to everyone who came out and watched the stream. Thank you. I hope you come back tomorrow for more SA2B action.
Indeed. So we'll be heading out. Thank you for watching, everybody. This is Finer.
And this is Ford.
Signing off.